Next message.
We're out of here, standing outside the Senagoth lounge behind the velvet rope, waiting to be let in, watching James and Luke through the window, my face pushed up against the glass. And I have a question for them, and for you, and for Peter Mansbridge and Chantal Hébert. So, usually what happens when a team is eliminated from the playoffs is that the players stand there in the dressing room and, they got their hands on their hips and they're not making eye contact with the reporters or looking into the camera. And they say something about how it's just a learning experience. It's something that they've gained some knowledge that you can only gain by losing in the playoffs. It's something I think we've all heard before. We've all followed teams that didn't go all the way to the cup. And they all say, it's a learning experience. It doesn't matter if you get eliminated in Game 7 of the finals or you get swept in the first round. You've learned something. I don't really get it. No one really ever goes one step further to say, this is the information I've gained by virtue of losing. I mean, everyone says well earlier than the playoffs that they know that the playoffs are a whole new game. It's really difficult. No matter how difficult you think it's going to be, it's even more difficult than that. It's this kind of like logical mindfuck, horror movie puzzle box where all you know is that you can't know how hard it is. And if somebody tells you, no matter how hard you think it's going to be, take that and multiply it by 1,000, and it's still harder than that. I mean, I don't even know. It's just like this logical rabbit hole. You never find the end of it. Anyways, this year I'm kind of becoming a convert to the idea that your team can seem more confident, can seem to lock in for like the long game, can seem a little bit more grizzled and veteran in nature. And I know that's weird to say because the Sens have one playoff appearance in the last decade under their belt, and it was a first round loss to Toronto. But it really does seem like they're locking in, or they're at least locking out all the distractions and the noise. And I think it's pretty extraordinary what the Ottawa Senators have been able to accomplish in the last 2 months. I don't remember what the record is. It's like 26-4 or something like that in the last couple of months. I don't remember what it is except to say that it's insane. They're dealing with a goaltender who every once in a while gets in front of the media and says things like every day is a struggle and I'm a broken person. They at one point had a defensive core of like Jordan Spence playing over 30 minutes a game and, two rookies making their NHL debut, and they were still winning those games. It really just does feel like something's different about this team. And the point of this voice memo is for me to implore you, the fan, and implore myself, the fan, to remember this if Ottawa loses the first game against Carolina, probably, but maybe Buffalo. If Ottawa loses the first game, let's think about what we learned from prior losses. Are we the grizzled veterans now? Do we have the perspective to be like, it's just one game, just get ready for the next one? Let's try and, keep our better angels in charge here and be professional about this. Even though I know most of us will be watching the games, sitting at a bar and drinking 17 beers. Let's really try and put our best foot forward here because the team is locked in. And, I think I think we've earned the right to have fun with this and not fall apart at the first sign of adversity. So, anyways, have fun, be safe out there, tell your kids that you love them, and back to you, Luke and James.
Good evening, and welcome to the Senagoth Lounge. I'm your bartender, Luke. Our drink special tonight is a Zuba Libre. And we've got our best customer, James, here tonight. James, what can I get you?
Can I get a iron flask of Red Wings Tears with a Maple Leafs Tears chaser, please?
That's coming right up, buddy. I just got a shipment of Red Wing fan and Leaf fan tears just this week.
This is the Pappy Van Winkle of tears.
They're selling out fast, folks. So it's really funny that the last time we recorded, I think the mood was like just slightly more optimistic than dire. We were kind of like, well, I guess they can do it, but will they? And turns out the answer is fuck yeah. And not only that, but after that whole drama with Allmark sitting out a game and then like letting in, I don't know, what was it, 5 goals on 3 shots or something, and getting pulled, and then people were posting the YouTube channels being like, this is getting hard to watch. This is absolutely and then they just won. Then they just won the next 5 straight games. So basically, yeah, this is huge. This is huge suck my dick from the back territory.
Turns out hockey's extremely fucking weird and hard to predict. Although you wouldn't know that from everyone's playoff predictions, which are so cowardly. And I think bravely that the higher ranked team will be the victors in every series.
I think at the very least you should at least do a bit of astrology or something. At least the guys on talking head shows or TSN will say something like, Boston's gonna have the advantage in the third pairing D matchup, and so that's why I like them in 7. That's just that's way more satisfying than just being home ice advantage will carry the day.
From the minds that brought you Panthers Dynasty Inevitable. And actually, the guy they got for Mitch Marner is sneaky good. Comes playoff predictions.
So
seriously, whatever that guy's name is, who they traded Mitch Marner for, is sneaky good.
Actually, do you know that guy? That guy actually got traded.
What?
Yeah, and they actually, I think they got a first round pick for him or something too. That's which is annoying.
Was it Justin Falk at the deadline?
No, this is haters' corner. Before we talk about the playoffs, let's talk about who's not in the playoffs, because
yes.
this particular conversation is a long time coming, and I'm not even sure this is going to be the only time we have it in the next 12 months. But let's begin with our dearly departed James. Do you have any words of remembrance for our fallen comrades in Detroit?
Well, I have a soft spot for my fellow Nepean Raider, Steve Aloysius Yzerman. I don't want to come off like a softie, but I do think that the Detroit Red Wings could have made the playoffs pretty easily if the amount of points or wins that you get didn't really count towards that. If they had a different format, you know, if it was judged on having a terrible goal differential all year, or having a team that's as soft as a chinchilla, I think they would have made it. It's kind of not fair, but sports isn't fair.
Maybe if it was just based on were you in a playoff spot on March 5th, that would get you in.
if it was based on if you were leading the division in January, uh,
Yeah.
they would get the President's Trophy of that,
They would be right there, though.
wouldn't they? Can I get a small chronic break for PR Hussein Dorian? Remember when that guy offered Alex DeBoertcat fucking 9.5 sheets? Remember that?
Yeah.
And we were like, don't we? And then he took less to play for Detroit and then proceeded to score this year the quietest 40 goals in NHL history. Excuse me. He scored 40 goals this year. I just found that I was like, that guy's fucking washed. And I looked it up and I was like, holy shit, he did it again. No one is talking about this.
Like, Detroit has the most players who are like empty calories guys I think I've ever seen. And I think, I obviously, like, Mo Seider and Lucas Raymond seem to be good. But yeah, Alex DeBoertcat and his 40 goals. And, like, even the reanimated corpse of Patrick Kane, like, on the one, like, 37-year-old Patrick Kane still putting up numbers, allegedly. But, like, if 37-year-old Patrick Kane is one of your best, I don't know, 4 forwards, like, I think you're toast. Like,
yeah,
that's not great.
In watching a couple of being forced to watch a couple of Detroit Red Wings games this year because it was a way to see my beautiful Ottawa Senators children. I found Patrick Kane to be an alarmingly important piece of their puzzle.
No, you can look at this. He was fourth on the team in average ice time amongst forwards. Like, he was, and if you compare that to Ottawa, and because I know some of you people are thinking, oh well, Claude Giroux is also old, and it's like, that's true, but Claude Giroux is 7th. Claude Giroux gets less ice time than Ridley Gregg and Dylan Cousins and Brady Tkachuk and Drake Batherson and Shane Pinto.
The way nature
and Tim
intended.
Stutz. Like Claude Giroux is actually a depth piece, and yeah, Patrick Kane is a piece of load-bearing drywall.
Listen, I couldn't pick Dylan Larkin out of a Police lineup. Who else we got here? James Van Riemsdyk? He's still allowed in the NHL? Okay.
What? Who?
Your Austrian brother, Marco Kasper. Who are these guys? Axel Sandin Pelilka. I don't know the team. Mason Appleton? Say that name to a cop. They're going to be like, nice try, smart guy. What's your real name?
2 goalies with a combined age of 70.
Jason St. Bernard Docker. Wow. He played 63 games for the Winged Wheel this year. Tarvis Hamonic. I forgot all about that. And Tablet. Tight. Cosmic lineup.
Oh, the stars are there. Tablet. Tablet 2.
This is awesome.
The only embarrassing part about the Red Wings is ever thinking they were going to make it to begin with. The Shanna scam is complete.
Yeah, Yzer scam.
Oh yeah, so the Yzer scam.
Yeah, same thing, except with like less fanfare. But yeah, this is probably like the thing I'm taking the most pleasure in, is that I did not appreciate being compared to this team in Ottawa. In fact, it'd be like, there's some teams really coming up, like, Detroit and Ottawa and Buffalo, and we're not getting top billing over Buffalo or over Detroit. Like, come on, man. Like, this is semantic, but sorry if I don't believe in Jonathan Berggren from Uppsala, Sweden. Like, I don't know. And Moritz Seider is good, but we're like begging people to pay attention to better player Jake Sanderson. Although you know what, we don't need y'all. We'll expect him when you least expect him, in the first round of the playoffs.
I mean, this is what I've been saying about Montreal for months too. Is like, yeah, they have some good players. Yeah, everyone's got good players. I mean, except for Vancouver, but every team has like 5 or 6 guys who are pretty good.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's you got to start looking down the lineup. You can't just say, oh, that team's got Patrick Kane, and start penciling them in.
It's how I managed to survive the rebuild. You tell yourself, yeah, we got Anthony Duclair. He's pretty good.
Wow. Yeah, that's true. Man, I remember talking
guys
myself
were
into
around, you know, pretty good guys. Remember them days with the pretty good guys?
All too well. I just want to get this on the record before we move on. The Red Wings won 7 of their last 22 games down the stretch.
That rips.
Like, they traded a first for Justin Falk and then acquired the absolute boy David Perron at the deadline, and then immediately won less than 33% of their games to the end of the season and missed the playoffs.
Yeah, and I actually quite like David Perron his time here. I think there was a lot of like unfortunate events, no Lemony Snicket, but it was time to like, you know, like, this is not feasible. Like, the fact that they got something for him, and he probably didn't mind going back to Detroit, and he was replaced with Warren Afigale. Like, that's the Steve Stoicism difference right there.
I mean, I was definitely a believer in David Perron after his playoffs last year. Like, I definitely saw this guy's a crafty vet who knows when and how to elevate his game in the playoffs. Like, I saw the vision, but Warren Afigale that's an upgrade.
Yeah, like, imagine if Perron could skate extremely fast and wasn't almost 40 years old. Like, these are good ideas. You know, these are good attributes for a guy that you just traded for. Yeah. So shout out to you. And also trading for Justin Falk, you know, 8 points in 17 games. Yakety Sax ass, you know, shooting yourself in the dick out of the playoffs aside. We're allowed to make fun of anything, right? As Sens fans, we've been through, like, remember when Ales Hemsky, like, single-handedly fucking eliminated the Sens from the playoffs, and then Brian Murray traded for him, and then he didn't re-sign here? Like, that's awesome. You know, like, let's remember some fucking painful memories. It's like, yeah, we're allowed to make fun of this. Fuck you. Yeah, I hope they don't get rid of Steve Yzerman. Yeah, I hope they keep doing what they're doing over there in Motown.
Ales Hemsky's career is hilarious just because you can look at his stats, and just from that alone, you can tell when his contract was coming up.
I looked him up the other day, and I was floored by how spectacularly mid he was in his career. Like, I thought of him as this sort of like a Bobby Hussein Ryan, like, where, you know, he was like a player from the Western Conference that was on my radar before he got traded here. You know, like, I thought of Hemsky the same way, as like a highlight reel goal, like sort of B tier star. But do a number crunch on that guy leaves something to be desired. He had a couple of really good seasons, but it's like a couple. Anyway,
Steve Yzerman, yeah, hope you stick around forever. Uncritical and continuous support for Steve Yzerman. We love having you in the division, bud.
Yeah, like, Steve Yzerman, if your time in Detroit has indeed come to an end, perchance you could take over the Boston Bruins. I'm really sick of their bullshit. Thank you, Boston Bruins, with your like quarter century window. Like, we need to bring in a cursed amulet into the mix to Detroit.
Spice up your relationship by working a cursed amulet into the mix. Hey, Boston. Yeah, things are getting kind of stale. I was thinking maybe we could try this cursed amulet and see how it feels.
Yeah. Maybe you could get experience again. Sens fans can make fun of everything. Maybe you can experience the joy of trading Alex DeBortcat for magic fucking beans. Whoever the 2026 offseason version of Dominic, former NHL player, but still totally able to play in the NHL physically, Dominic Kubalik.
I think we can move on to the main event.
Okay.
The main course.
And what would that be, Luke?
It's fine. It's time. It's been a long road, and it's almost been 10 years.
It's almost been
from the time I sat at the Canadian Tire Center and watched Austin Matthews score 4 goals in his first NHL game, and the Ottawa Senators winning anyway.
Oh, they ended. Oh, you'd think that if somebody scored 4 goals for one team, they'd win that one.
I mean, that's what always happens to Ottawa, at least. Mm-hmm. But now I think we can finally start pouring the dirt. I think we can finally start pouring the dirt on this Leafs era. And not a moment too soon. It's too bad that they just couldn't keep it going. I thought we were going to have so many epic rivalry series in the playoffs after last year. Weren't you pumped to see the Leafs again this year, James, in the playoffs? Weren't you thinking this is the year we'll finally get them? Weren't you thinking we're 1 year older and wiser, and this will be finally the time we can beat the Leafs in the playoffs? Nope, no Leafs in the playoffs. Just us, baby.
My biggest takeaway from last year's playoff experience was it's almost like why I was hoping in a way for Buffalo, who it is such a good bit that they made the playoffs and Detroit did. But was the Sens truly had, I think in our voicemail series, which we will bring back for this playoffs, after that first game, I was pretty hot because I was just so bummed that Ottawa didn't look like they were going to win that game for 1 second. Like, at no point did I think, hey, we got, like, just stay cool. Everything's, like, the boys are, like, no, they looked terrified.
I was in Italy. I was in Tuscany. I set my alarm for like 2 a.m. so I could watch it. I was immediately like, why am I doing this?
Yeah.
Holy fuck, I hate this so much.
I was in the Eastern time zone, and I was thinking. But by the end of the series, even though they lost, I mean, they went down 0-3, and I thought to myself, like, yeah, you're probably gonna fucking, like, they dug themselves too deep a hole, and they didn't take the series. But my takeaway after that was, run that back. Like, they seriously had them on the ropes at some points. Like, if they didn't blow that first game just by, like, seeing through time or whatever the fuck happened to them, I don't know.
If Drake Batherson back checks properly against fucking Max Domi, like, there's at least 5 things I could point to that I would be like, oh yeah, Sens were right there though.
Yeah, if Drake Batherson could have remembered that he was Drake Batherson at a few points in that series. But anyway, I'm really looking forward to the Sens meeting the Leafs again in the first round this year. Oh, I'm looking at NHLstandings.net. And
you have to scroll really far down.
It just says, "Hey, what happened?" Huh. What does that mean? Is that good? Hey, what happened? Have you, by the way, this is really like topical to like the last, I don't know, 24 hours, but have you heard Austin Matthews' latest Bon Mo? He seems happy as a clam, doesn't he? He seems happy with things.
I believe they call him Mr. Satisfaction in Toronto.
William Nylander just seems like a generally like grouchy dude with the media, but like Austin Matthews, like, hey, I'm an Ottawa Senators fan. I speak fluent player not committing at all to staying ease. Like it was actually like really impressive the way he did it. Like, are you thinking of staying here, Austin Matthews? Like, yeah, of course, there are a lot of ways to answer this question, and one of them would be that, and, you know, we're just blocking out the noise right now. Like, oh, he went with the Spassky Bishop blocking out the noise to opening.
Matthews' actual quote was, when asked about his future in Toronto, was, "I can't predict the future."
I can.
Yeah. Right. Based on that, I think we can all predict the future.
Yeah. I'm an Ottawa Senators fan. I know exactly what's going to happen in the future. But it's why I'm scared to listen to anything Brady Tkachuk has to say lately. But no, he seems happy where he is.
One thing I absolutely refuse to do is engage in like being afraid that the Leafs will somehow win the draft lottery. It's like I used to dream of times like this. What are they going to do with the draft lottery? Like draft another guy who might be as good as Austin Matthews, who they're going to trade, or who even better might just leave for nothing. Amazing.
I mean, we talked about this on our last episode. Thanks for listening, everyone. About how like. Unfortunately fortunately for us at this point, but their last rebuild was quite successful. If you compare it to how long it took the Edmonton Oilers to get to where they are, you know, like it is insane that Ryan, Ted Nugent, or Anthony Hopkins like made it through like 3 of the fucking rebuilds, you know, and
now he's like a serviceable middle 6 forward.
Yeah, that guy's in
his 15th year of NHL hockey,
and he was like a no doubt number 1 pick, you know, like just like Adam Larson, all these guys. Like, I don't even know if he's in the fucking league anymore. Like, he probably plays for a WHL team like the Seattle Kraken now or whatever. But like, you know, the Leafs got like a fucking 60 plus goal scorer. You know, a crafty guy like Nylander. Does Nylander put up 100 points? I think so.
He's the only guy who does now, I think.
I have a blocker to not be able to look up disgusting content like that on my computer. But
do you want to tell me where Marner, it is so I can avoid it?
Marner, 100 points, played in all situations. Say what you will about him. Like, it's gonna take, and they had some misses, like former Ottawa Senators legend Nikita Zaitsev. But anyway, I digress. They did the rebuild thing. Like, they are fucking gambling to try it again, and it's going to take a very fucking long time to get there.
And then they're gonna have to like re-sign the next version of like John Tavares as well.
Good point. Who is that? Probably Mitch Marner. Like, Mitch Marner gonna go off and like win 2 cups with Vegas, and when he's like 38, he'll be back.
Maybe McDavid will decide he wants to go there after he's done in Edmonton. I'm sure McDavid's ready to go to the Leafs. That'll be the new narrative. McDavid wants to play for a winner, which is why he's headed to Toronto.
Yeah, I'm sure McDavid is down for a rebuild at this stage in his career. That's good. I'd put money on that. Especially with a team like Toronto at the helm. Like, what could possibly go wrong?
The crazy thing about this version of the Leafs rebuild is that it is completely antithetical to the idea of the ideal Leafs team to their fans. Your typical Labatt Blue drinking GTA Leafs fan loves Wendell Clark, loves Dougie Gilmore, loves Ty Domi. Just loves guys who cared and care. And also did score
David Clarkson.
But these guys who were not the best players in the league, but went out there and tried hard anyway. These are the real legendary players, and to your average Leafs fan who fondly remembers the 90s and 2000s. And Matt Sundin was extremely good player, not quite deserving of that label, but still the thing that the Leafs fans really just want is a team that gives a shit, and they just got guys who did not.
It rules. It just absolutely rules.
They got a team that was good but still lacked the one thing they all wanted. It's tremendous.
Maybe it's impossible to care about Toronto like that, maybe there's a glitch in the Matrix. It's like New York without all the stuff. Rest in piss. I gotta just load up that Austin Matthews I can't predict the future clip. That's my playoffs.
That's so good. Austin Matthews can't predict the future. Well, we fucking can. Yeah. I actually have a reading series about the Leafs because this article dropped on Wednesday. And
must have been hard to find. There's not a lot of press about that team. So it seems like a really fun place to play.
So this is an article from The Athletic. It's got 3 reporters on the byline. It's by
That rocks. What is this fucking Maggie Haberman reporting on Palace injury?
Yes.
It seems like a fun place to play.
Jonas Siegel, Chris Johnson, and James Myrtle are all on this article called Inside the Stunning Fall of the Maple Leafs: Chaos, Dysfunction, and AI.
Allen Iverson is...
Nope, the other one, the bad one, James. Artificial intelligence. They've tried human stupidity, and now they're switching to artificial intelligence.
Yeah, I mean, why not get a, snake oil product involved in this? I'm ready to go.
Do you know who Keith Pelly is, James?
Devontae Smith, Pelly's cousin. I don't know.
He's the current president and CEO of Maple Leaf Sports and Entertainment, and here's what happened.
That's like being that's like going into my lexicon or my Rolodex of names, like how I know Abdul Bakar al-Baghdadi, like oh, he's like an ISIS operative.
Here's what this article has to say about Keith Pelly. Seldom does a finely tailored suit from the C-suite rub shoulders directly with scouts who spend hundreds of days pounding the pavement each year looking for players. But there was Keith Pelly, the president and CEO of MLSE, overseeing the action. Pelly had never taken that approach with the NBA's Toronto Raptors or MLS's Toronto FC, the 2 other big league clubs he oversees. nor had he been in the room on the trade deadline day a year earlier when Brendan Shanahan was still president of the Leafs. But he was concerned by the direction the team was taking under general manager Brad Treliving and felt it necessary to get a first-hand view at how the front office operated under pressure and arrived at a decision. So, I mean, first of all, can you imagine you've been a scout for 35 years and then, like, a guy who, like, cut his teeth with the Argos, like, drops in and it's just like, so how's things going down here? Did you know I used to be the president of the PGA European Tour?
How do you do, fellow weird old guys that analyze young men's bodies and how they will develop? Does anyone have the good face in our prospect pool? Does anyone have a hot girlfriend? Also, so far, by the way, before you go on, this is so far giving, like... And by the way, New York Times... according to our source, J.D. Vance was very against invading Iran. Anyway, I wonder who the source of this story was.
Pelly viewed himself as merely an observer, but others felt differently. He didn't sit in silence. He peppered the team's scouts with questions, demanded more assets, in quotes, in trade conversations, and tossed out opinions and ideas. As one team source put it, fans would have been surprised to see just how involved a non-hockey executive was that day. Pelly didn't come empty-handed either. He had notes that included possible trade returns that Leaf staff members believed were generated by large language models and artificial intelligence, tools that have become increasingly influential at the top of MLSE, but hadn't been part of the usual process with its NHL team. So basically this guy is like showing up at the end of the season, talking with the vets, and then like coming out and then like spitting out trade returns that he got from a large language model trained on like HF boards posts by like a guy called Sven Farchi, whose avatar is like that picture of Jaromir Jagr in bed with that girl.
The impression I'm getting is that this guy is like the Rosa Parks of the MLSE executive. Like he's a trailblazer. One, you know, one of one.
Here's the thing. We're no stranger to being like cheering for embarrassing front offices. We may even have done that kind of recently. And yet, were we ever this badly embarrassed by Eugene Melnyk?
Yes. But I feel like we are afforded the dignity of only we know about it, or like like maybe some hockey media in Canada knows about it here and there, but we're served with the reaction of like, you stupid idiots over in Ottawa, whatever. Like, whereas this is like front page news, you know. It seems like a fun place to play, is what I'm saying.
There's a section in this article from early in the season. 6 games into the season, Stolarz ripped his team's performance in the kind of blunt manner that goaltenders rarely ever use. I thought the first 2 periods we kind of let them walk all over, as Stolarz said, following a loss to the Seattle Kraken.
Oh, it's like an AHL Subway Series.
Even for a Leafs team that always started slowly, only to blast their way to the 100-plus points during the regular season, this was proving to be no ordinary October. The roster looked slow and old, and meaningfully weaker without Marner, with the top line and power play taking big hits.
Well, here comes old man Maximum Dome Piece. Old man Matthews is on the prowl. He's 27 years old. That's some good Tianto like finessing, like the old Toronto Maple Leafs roster. Like Austin Matthews not even 30. Like how old is William G? Like this is your fucking window, guys. Like 29. Matthew Nyes is 22.
These guys are in their prime, and they're already like coloring up the chips to cash out and start again.
100%, perfectly put.
It's really a shame that Mark Mathott's dead, because that tweet he had where he, like 3 years ago, where he was like, I would take Ottawa's future over Toronto's right now, got like clowned on at the time, and now it's like Methstradamus was amongst us that day.
Yeah, he was right about everything.
Well, not everything.
Absolutely, I 100% stand by all his Twitter likes and follows on all social
and
media.
posts.
His brother is a what for a living? A police officer. Interesting. Anyway, go on.
Skipping ahead to the trade deadline, the Leafs GM engaged in trade talks involving Knies with a handful of teams in the hopes of landing a rich return. Treliving also tried and failed to turn Oliver Ekman-Larsson into a tidy haul of draft picks and approached Matthews and Nylander to discuss the team's intended direction.
Sorry, hold on. Before you go on, a haul of draft picks?
No, a tidy haul.
This guy's like 34. He's having like a nice season, but like it's kind of like the Sens were looking to trade Artem Zub for a tiny haul of draft picks. Like, all right, like I love Zub, but like a tidy haul, like yeah, Oliver Ekman-Larsson for 2 firsts, a second, a third, and a top 6 winger.
Most vexing, even shocking for the front office, was how little interest rivals seem to have in Scott Lawton or Bobby McMahon, 2 low-cost rentals who priced their way out of staying in Toronto. Those are the 2 guys who are too expensive to stay in Toronto. They were too expensive for Toronto.
Respect.
With only 30 minutes to go, Treliving emailed the NHL's other 31 GMs to inform them that the Leafs were trading Lawton. Pelly would later
do you think the email said sent using Copilot?
Pelly would later tell MLSE staff in his weekly Pelly's Page internal newsletter.
Oh, no, not Pelly's Page.
Would later tell the staff that the team hadn't drawn any offers on either McMahon or Lawton with just 15 minutes to go until the 3 p.m. Eastern trade deadline. Like, they're fucking sending out birthday party invitations and getting hit with the, yeah, I'll make it if I can.
No worries. Text back Treliving. Over. Copy pasta. No worries. Holy shit. Scott Lawton, we barely knew ye.
So they did trade Scott Lawton for a second rounder, and Bobby McMahon's now in Seattle for a second and fourth rounder, and now they immediately turned into like the 3rd best forward on Seattle.
Yo, I love it. You gotta love the commitment to the bit.
Yeah,
he's doing it for us.
Conversations around Knies continued until the last minute too, with marquee Canadians and Sabres prospects in play.
Sorry, can you help me out with something, Luke? Why
Yes.
are they so horny to trade Knies? Is his contract ending or something?
I'm going to be straight up with you. I haven't looked into that, and because first of all, I don't care, but I agree It doesn't make any sense. At least in a world like, is his contract up? Because like Matthew Knies was a fucking dog in the playoffs last year, and he's only 23. How can you have like 3 good players and you're over the cap? He just signed a 6-year deal, and I guess now he's got a 7.
And they're trying to trade him?
Yeah, because he makes like almost $8 million a year.
And which AI platform did they use to make this decision? Like,
I can't.
You'd think that, is it Claude? You'd think that they would be, the article would say, like, and Treliving tried to move heaven and earth to get John Tavares to a contender. Like, no, we're hanging on to this guy, like, no matter what. He's our second best player. I don't get why you trade your... Yeah, it's with a heavy heart that I must confess that Matthew Knies is good.
I know.
Like...
No place for that sort of thing on this Leafs team.
You guys got to switch up the AIs. You know that, like, have you seen that thing where somebody was, like, talking to their AI and they're like, what do you think of my music? And they just play this cacophony of fart sounds, and it's like, it's really cool. It's got a late night vibe to it. This could work well as a soundtrack ending, like when the credits roll on a cool movie. Trading Matthew Nyes is a bold move. I support you 100%. I just want to go on record saying I 100% support the trading of Matthew Nyes. Keep going, little guy. You're doing super. Is AI a good way to run a hockey team? Yes. I've been saying though. And it worked. That's the worst part about it. You know, like at the end of the day, you got to take your hat off to it.
Did you know that while they were talking about trading Oliver Ekman-Larsson, Oliver Ekman-Larsson's wife was just days away from having their second kid? And so they sat him so that he could get traded while his wife was heavily pregnant, and then they didn't trade him.
It's pretty cool. It's a great place to play.
Just when the organization thought things couldn't get any worse, they did in the next game. Anaheim Ducks defenseman Radko Gudas, nicknamed The Butcher, threw his left knee out in an apparent attempt to clip Matthews. As the Leafs captain lay crumpled...
attempt, by the way.
As the captain lay crumpled, the four other Leafs on the ice, including Morgan Riley and Nylander, the two longest-serving members of the team, did not rush to Matthews' defense. He would later require a season-ending knee surgery. I mean, that's pretty brutal.
Attempt at putting his... Like, that's some, like, IDF secures buffer zone in Lebanon. Like, what?
How can you get suspended for attempted kneeing? Have you ever heard of someone winning the Nobel Prize in attempted chemistry?
Call on the ice remains attempted kneeing. By the way, how awesome I'm sorry, but this just seems like a really fun place to play. Imagine putting up 79 points in 65 games. And fucking being run out of town like you're a lazy piece of shit. William Nylander, I'm talking about, of course. Like, he's
Where
next.
were you when Matthews got need?
Well, according to Ed Scissor Sisters, or whatever that guy's fucking name is, like, he passed Austin Matthews the puck. How dare you pass the best scorer on your team the puck in front of the net? Knowing full well that
it was a hospital pass. Radko Gudas was right there. Nicknamed The Butcher, by the way. Had you heard that one before? The Butcher of Anaheim?
I don't think I have, but I support it.
Making him sound like a Balkan war criminal.
I mean, do a number crunch on that. I mean, it's pretty good. Like, if we were in different circumstances...
Yeah, right. What's the difference?
I'd be hiding behind that guy in a bunker. So good luck with your rebuild again or whatever. You fucking assholes. Sorry you couldn't trade Olivier Ekman-Larsson.
Or Matthew Nyes?
How do you not manage to trade a player that you're looking to trade? I guess you just make a stupid price and then fail.
I don't know, man.
Does
Does anyone know? I mean, maybe Claude knows, but can you also imagine wanting to, like, can you imagine being the next GM / coach and being like, all right, part of your job is to take Keith Pelly's insane ramblings from his LLMs and incorporating them into your decision making. By the way,
pretty sick.
Would you want this job, James?
No, I have. I love life and have no intentions of harming myself. I just want to make that clear before we start this.
Let's check the old TSN headlines right now. What's this?
Sure.
Maple Leafs meeting with Matt Sundin about potential management role. Once again, Alfie gets there first.
This is like an AI solution to the problem.
Everything is an AI solution now. It's like anytime they do anything, I'm going to be like, did AI tell you to do that?
Have you tried increasing the vibes? Call up Matt Sundin. He seemed very happy when he left Toronto. He had a good time. That was like one of the only players I ever kind of felt sorry for. Where I'd be watching SportsCenter and objectively think, this guy's doing what he can. He can't do everything. He's doing his part. And then,
I mean, don't feel too bad. I mean, Matt Sundin did get to ride Daniel Alfredsson's jock to a gold medal in Turin in 2006. Mm-hmm. Look it up. Daniel Alfredsson 10 points, Matt Sundin 8. So, it worked out for him eventually.
He did win that cup in Vancouver, though. So,
yikes! How long was Matt Sundin in Vancouver for? Like that's on some like Alfie year in Detroit shit. Is the
hey, he did get to play 5 extra postseason games. So
anyway, rest in piss, the Toronto Maple Leafs. Good luck with trading your remaining good players. I guess I don't fucking know.
This is the Senagoth Lounge difference, is that the Sens made an absolutely heroic, Herculean feat of making the playoffs for a second consecutive year, in fucking last place in the division at one point, and we're just like, hold on, can we get a small timeout for like a solid 45 minutes of hating on our rivals? Look, Sens in 3. You want to know what I think about this? Like, any thoughts on the Carolina Hurricanes? They're so uninteresting. I find it impossible to even have an opinion about them.
I'll tell you what, though. I did enjoy the last week of the regular season once the Sens had locked up their spot, because I was finally free. The Sens played and it didn't matter. It was the most relaxed week of my life. I got better sleep. My skin was clear. Every morning, bluebirds would deliver me my Viennese coffee on my way to work, like I was some sort of Austrian Snow White. It was a wonderful week.
Yeah, like if you've ever wondered what taking 10 milligrams of Xanax is like, just be a Sens fan for the last week. Just letting it wash over you in an awesome way. Like, oh, Sens gave up a comeback lead to blow it in overtime. I don't give a shit. I don't care who we play in the playoffs.
Carolina is obviously a great regular season team.
Great city, the city of Carolina.
The city of Carolina, yes, of course.
Mm-hmm. In the great state of Carolina.
All you need to know about the upcoming series is Carolina at Ottawa on April 5th, 2026. Ottawa 6, Carolina 3 on 4 expected goals for Ottawa and 2.7 expected goals for Carolina. Absolutely put the boots to them. It was 3-2 for Ottawa after the second, and then Ottawa scored 2 goals early in the third. And yeah, Carolina never got close. That's why I think Ottawa can win the series. Ottawa matches up very well against Carolina. I'll say that.
You don't think Freddie Anderson is due?
Well, I mean, they might put in Brandon.
That's crazy.
Am I
don't
saying
say
that
that
right?
on the
Am I
pod.
saying that right? Am I gonna have to bleep that like I do with tablet?
Sebastian A-hole. Am I right? Yo, get his fucking name out of your mouth. People be like, who shall reign supreme, Sebastian A-hole or Tim Stutzler? Like, man, fuck you. I don't even know who that is. Sebastian A-hole. Fucking Olympic team ass player. World championship ass.
The Stutzler comparison's not that bad. I do think our German fella has a little more of the how you say sauce about him.
Yeah, that's what makes this so hard. Is like I gotta respect that they are a number one team in their division, but I don't care about their sauceless asses at all. So we're gonna see what happens. And if Ottawa loses, lawyer fucked me. You know.
Yeah. Would you like to remember some guys?
Absolutely, I'm always ready to remember some guys.
Here's a guy Carolina has, Taylor Hall,
Playing on his 14th NHL squadron.
Also, Jesperi coked up Niemi.
Habs runoff.
Remember when Carolina made the offer sheet of the century to get that guy, and then fine third liner.
Some extremely like, this is why we don't do offer sheets.
Shane Gostisbehere.
Okay.
Remember the Ghost Bear?
Yeah. I remember you. I remember like Puck Daddy talking about that guy. That's kind of like my relationship to him.
A former Winnipeg Jet, Nikolai Ehlers.
One of the most
good.
annoying names in the NHL. Ehlers, that sounds made up. Don't say that to a Scandinavian cop. They won't buy it.
Well, he is actually Danish.
I don't care.
These are the stars we get to look forward to hating.
Yeah. I'm hoping that the Sens sauce advantage reigns supreme, you know? I also hope that Weedus Allmark is traveling with the team. We wish you a stable and consistent playoff. Weedus Allmark. We love you. We support you. Continue playing games. Continue to play well. And, you know, after you get the Stanley Cup, you still get a few months off to rest and recoup. So just, you know, something to look forward to is very important.
Yeah, the vacation you get after you win the cup is one of the best vacations of your life.
Yeah.
We all know that.
We all want to go on vacation now, but it's only April, you know? Like, you save it for when it's really nice out. And Brady Tkachuk, we love you. We love your terrible podcast. Please stop having your asshole dad on. We gotta put up with a lot as Sens fans, eh? Like, did you hear what the captain of the team's dad said on his podcast? Like what is the bottom depth of drama that we have to deal? Dad being a dick on the Suns podcast? Like, what other team has to put up with this shit?
That's why we are allowed to spend 45 minutes dunking on other teams in our division, is because we've earned it and we deserve it.
Yes, correct. On both fronts. Sens in 3.
I mean, I'm sure we'll learn all sorts of stuff about players we never knew about, and suddenly we hate them almost as much as we hate certain people who we hope a certain thing happens to. Did you know that there's a Nepo baby on Carolina?
Okay, let's hear it. Couldn't be any of our Nepo babies. The Sens, but go ahead.
How about try this for a name? Are you ready? You're gonna like this name. Skylar Brendamore.
That's fucking crazy. Wu-Tang name generator, but for like Nepo baby NHL players.
Oh my god. I bet I could fire up Claude and vibe code that tonight.
That's the best one since Landon Ferraro. My son Landon is playing. God damn. Skylar look, we have a lot of fun on this podcast. I make up a lot of names. Skylar Brindamore, even I don't have the fucking cojones to come up with that one. Gidget Gretzky, Skylar Bridmore,
Moon Unit Lemieux.
Yeah. Pilot Inspector Lafleur.
Dweezil Howe.
Listen, Sens in 3. That's all I got to say.
Yeah, look, I'm going to put out a half-assed series preview if you want to know my actual scientific opinions. Too long, didn't read, is Sens might win, Sens might lose, but I think they match up well against Carolina.
Tight.
And
I'm just gonna attach my name to this.
And yeah, Ottawa's even arguably got the better goaltending. In
Hell
the
yeah!
series, so
it's nice to have that get said one time in my entire life. So respect.
Yeah. Game 1 later today, probably.
Game 1. You did not listen to this before that game, so that's why we kept the playoff talk to a minimum.
Yeah.
We're gonna bring back the voicemail series. Go Sens in 3. You know, they probably already won all 3 games to take the series.
Enjoy your 3 p.m. afternoon start. I'm assuming everyone in Ottawa is going to be watching that as God intended, on their phone while they're at the Charge game.
Damn, why you gotta expose me like that? I bought those tickets months ago. It's a very important game for the Charge.
Yeah, it's also PWHL playoffs, is it not? Or is it just almost there?
It's very important. I don't know. We're gonna see what happens.
Stupid elite Sens brain hasn't put out a podcast episode lately, so I don't know what to think about the PWHL. I'm flying blind here. Beata and Ericsson's burner, where are you? Drop the next episode already. I need you to tell me all your opinions about the PWHL so I can steal them.
And if you're at the Charge game, drop by the Ottawa Otters kiosk while you're there. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Support queer hockey in your own backyard. It's going to be Pride Day at the PWHL game, or as I like to call it, any game. The vibes are immaculate at any game I've ever been to like that. Oh, I got to announce the name of the song. I got a couple of messages asking what the song was that ended the last episode. Reaper by The Male Nurse.
Also, I always post the name of the song, the name of the artist, and a link to their SoundCloud in every show description. So you do not necessarily have to message James about it, but he still loves hearing from you. So again,
I always want to talk about The Male Nurse. Fantastic.
I mean, yeah, and all the songs you suggest rip, and that one even more so than usual.
I don't know if she'd approve of this, but I think we should go out on the song You by otherworldly talented artist Ketra.
Go Sens in 3. We'll see you on the voicemails, and we'll see you back in the Senagoth Lounge very soon.
Shout out to me. Almost forgot to thank myself for this. Sens in 2.75.
Sens in -2. Aha, I win. All right. See you later, folks. Have a nice playoffs.
Repelled by love.